It was an ordinary afternoon in a crowded grocery store. Shoppers rushed up and down the aisles, pushing their carts, grabbing items, lost in their own little worlds. Among them was Sarah, a young woman in her late 20s, scanning the shelves for a jar of pasta sauce. She had no idea that in just a few moments, her entire life was about to change. Out of nowhere, a small voice called out, "Mom!" Startled, Sarah turned around, and there he was, a little boy, no older than 6, with wide, pleading eyes. He ran straight to her and wrapped his tiny arms around her waist, holding on as if his life depended on it. Sarah froze. Her heart pounded in her chest. I'm sorry, sweetheart. You must be mistaken," she said gently, trying to pull away, but the boy wouldn't let go. "Please, don't leave me again," he whispered, his voice trembling. Shoppers around them started to notice. Sarah looked around, feeling eyes on her, a mix of curiosity and concern. "Where's your mom, honey? Do you know where she is?" she asked, crouching down to his level. Tears welled up in the boy's eyes. "She's not my real mom. I was in foster care, and she took me away. But she's not nice. You have to help me." Sarah's breath caught in her throat. Her mind raced, trying to process what she was hearing. Okay, let's find someone who can help." But deep down, something about the boy felt familiar. Before she could say another word, a woman stormed down the aisle, her face red with frustration. "There you are, you little brat," she spat, grabbing his arm roughly. "Stop bothering people." Sarah instinctively stepped between them. "Excuse me, ma'am. I think he's scared," she said firmly, feeling an unusual protectiveness rise within her. The woman scowled. "Mind your business. He's my responsibility." Something about the woman's tone sent chills down Sarah's spine. She glanced at the boy, who was trembling now, clutching her hand. "Ma'am, maybe we should get store security to sort this out." The woman's face darkened. Without another word, she yanked the boy's arm and started dragging him away. But then, something happened that sent shockwaves through Sarah. "Sarah, it's me, Tommy. You promised you'd come back for me," the boy screamed. Sarah's heart stopped. Tommy. That name hit her like a bolt of lightning. She hadn't heard it in years. She looked at him closely, really looked, and suddenly, it all came rushing back. Years ago, before life had pulled her in different directions, Sarah had volunteered at a foster home. There had been one little boy she'd connected with, Tommy. She had promised him she'd visit again, but life got in the way. Work, school, responsibilities. She never went back. But Tommy, he had remembered her. Sarah's mind reeled. She couldn't let him go. "Wait, I think I know him," she said, stepping forward. The woman's grip tightened on Tommy. "No, you don't," she snapped. "We're leaving." Sarah didn't hesitate. She pulled out her phone and dialed 911, her voice steady. "I need help. There's a child here who might be in danger." Security arrived within minutes. The woman, growing increasingly defensive, tried to explain herself, but the store's cameras had caught everything. Within moments, the police were called, and Sarah watched as Tommy was gently taken aside by an officer. As the woman was questioned, Tommy looked back at Sarah, his eyes filled with gratitude and hope. "I knew you'd come back," he whispered, his voice filled with relief. Tears filled Sarah's eyes. "I'm so sorry I didn't sooner," she said, her voice cracking. Later, the officers confirmed what Sarah had feared. The woman had taken Tommy under false pretenses, claiming to be a foster parent but had no legal custody over him. Tommy was safe now, and authorities would make sure he was placed with a loving family. Before he left, Tommy hugged Sarah tightly. "Thank you," he said, his tiny voice full of emotion. And at that moment, Sarah realized something profound. Life had given her a second chance, not just to make things right with Tommy, but to truly make a difference. From that day on, she vowed to never let anyone slip through the cracks again. Sometimes the smallest voices have the most powerful stories to tell, if we're just willing to listen.